Hey kiddos, Tony B the RD here, and I am so excited to be here with Tom Schuff at Pine Barrens Native Fruit. And today we are going to go visit their cranberry bogs and go on a tour seeing how cranberries are grown, where they come from, and how they get to our school. So let's go!
You are right now surrounded by cranberry bogs. Every little one of these little rectangles that you see is a cranberry bog. Every little outline area that has the raised dams and recessed vine with water running around the edges, that's a cranberry bog. So very often after a heavy rain or something like that, there's still some moisture in there. So we have the mechanism to be able to bring it in and further dry the berries. This is the dryer. So there are fans underneath that are blowing, and so we're trying to just get all the moisture off the berries. So they come in from there into that elevator, they go up, and then they go through our sorting equipment. This one is taking out white. So if you look, anything that's white is going to come out in here. And the next size over is taking out things that are too soft. As time went on, and we found ourselves in wars, so soldiers were going off, we would have fewer available workers, so they would use the scoops, just combing through the vines. It's a box, and the top of it has combs. You would push those combs through, and the slits between the combs were wide enough that the vine could go back through, but the berries couldn't.
Makes sense.
So the berries would pull that up, and the berries would come and sit in the bottom of the bucket. My boss's father mechanized that, so he put it on a walk behind. On the other side of the machine, there's another little silver thing going up. That's elevating the berries up to where they can put that orange lug underneath of it, fill it, and then they let it go down that back conveyor or back roller, and it just deposits on the ground behind them. As they drop, they're full. Across on the conveyor, up another little elevator, filling up the lug, and then the lug gets dropped off. So what they'll do is they'll pick up those lugs, put them on that elevator, it'll go up, and then there'll be a pickup truck backed up against them, and then they'll stack them on the pickup truck and carry them in from there. After they would dry harvest, they would flood the bogs to get what they call the floaters. And so then they'd come behind and they would flood them and they would corral them like we do. And then somebody at some point said, why don't we just do it like that to begin with? Why don't we just flood them? And so all the process harvest changed over to water harvest at that time.
Hey kiddos, let's just take a few minutes during our farm tour here looking at the cranberry bogs and talk about the nutrition benefits of cranberries. So cranberries contain proanthocyanidins, and that is a chemical compound naturally occurring in cranberries. Proanthocyanidins are known as nature's natural Teflon, and simply what that means is it helps bacteria from not sticking. So in recent editions of the Nutrition News, we spoke about healthy bacteria in our stomachs and how that helps also prevent bad bacteria from sticking to our intestines or our digestive tract. But now, proanthocyanidins help remove or keep bacteria from sticking to our mouth, which helps protect against tooth decay and cavities, but it also helps our urinary tract and prevents bacteria from sticking to the inside of our bladder.
The Pine Barrens, because of the low nutrition in the soil and the environmental conditions and ecology, traditional farming really didn't fit. So it was called Pine Barrens. So we had newspaper towns in the Pine Barrens. And newspaper towns doesn't have anything to do with printing a newspaper. What it was if you subscribed to the newspaper, say in Philadelphia, today you might get a pen with their name on it. Well, back then, you got a land deed with your name on it. And it was a piece of land in the Pine Barrens. And it was considered a building lot on useless land. It was so worthless to people. So that allowed some of the local families to buy up vast amounts of land without great wealth. And these people were people who really were deep-rooted here. And they began to heal the land. And one of the things that comes back naturally was the wild cranberry. So they began to cultivate the cranberry, which gave them income, which allowed them to keep investing in land management and so forth. And for every acre of cranberries we grow, we need 7 to 10 acres of supporting lands for cultural practices and to protect the purity of the water. The Pine Barrens have some of the most pure water on the planet. So cranberries are kind of a really cool picture of sustainability, sustainable farming. We've been growing the same crop in the same land for over 160 years, and we have not depleted the soils. We have not done anything. As a matter of fact, our winter flood helps recharge the aquifers under the ground. The way we build our bogs helps filter and clean the water. You hear things like acid rain. Cranberries love acid rain. They're an acid-loving plant. So they help clean up the environment and everything. And then the fruit is really good for you, and it's one of the best purifiers. The Indians used it in pemmican because it was a natural preservative, and so forth. And it's all about the purity.
Any fun facts you want to tell us about cranberries or cranberry bogs?
The Native Americans here called them pakim, which means noisy fruit, because they have the air chambers. If you walk on them when they're fully mature, they sound like popcorn. So it was noisy fruit.
Oh, for our students, is there anything else you want to share with them?
I think the main thing is that farmers provide all the food, and it's also the average age of a farmer has gone up, and it's like 59 or 60. So if you have an interest in farming, we get to play in the water, we get to use computers, we get to play in the dirt, we get to operate tractors, and we get to do all kinds of neat things in nature. And it's science, and it's art, and it's activity, and it's really a nice way of life, because it's not really a job as much as it's a way of life.
And it's a necessity.
Absolutely.
It's where we get our food to nourish our bodies, and these are the people giving us that opportunity. New Jersey is the 3rd largest grower of cranberries. Mm-hmm. That needs to be more well known. That needs to be an important fact of a New Jerseyan. Mm-hmm. That we live in the 3rd largest state of cranberry production. We are the Garden State for a reason. Mm-hmm. And this is one of them.
Yeah.